Hey guys, and welcome to Ardent Sports, and here I am with my Week 6 NFL season predictions. So, last week there was some interesting upsets, some interesting high-scoring games that I don't think many people expected to be a high-scoring game. And then there are some games that I think a lot of people thought were going to be like decently scoring games, and were pretty low scoring. Just a quick recap. We have me still leading the way in the competition at 50 and 28. We have Johnny Talk Sports in second with 44 and 34. New third place, your boy Hobo. He has finally come out of the hole at 43 and 35. And we have Z Diamond at 42 and 36. So we still have those guys battling out for second place. They're catching up to me to an extent. I had a little bit more of a lead last week than I do coming into this week. So a couple games that kind of surprised me. I did not see the Packers losing. I did not see the Ravens losing. That Ravens game just threw me in so many different directions. I thought it was gonna be a tie because it was the final minute or so, or 2 minutes, and it's tied up at 9. And then all of a sudden, Cleveland kicks a field goal from, I think it was 40 something yards, 42, 43 maybe. And their kicker had missed a shorter one earlier. So I'm thinking, okay, he's going to butcher this one too. Nope, makes it game over. Well, shit. Then I think there was, 3 games that went into overtime last week, and the Cowboys and Texans were another one. Thank God the Texans ended up winning that one. Drew Brees got the record. So there's that. Yeah. Anyway, all right, let's move on to week 6. So let me do what I should have done once again and pull up the games. So we have the Eagles facing off against the Giants on Thursday Night Football, which is tonight. I've been very behind on my videos. Because in turn I've been behind with school because I had to go home this past weekend for a little bit of a family emergency. I'm not going to get into it. If you know me personally, then you know what's going on. So, but otherwise, I'm just not going to get into it. So we have the Eagles, we have the Giants. This isn't loading. I want to say that they're in Philly. Let me see if I can get this to load on my phone. Oh, there it goes. Oh no, they're actually in New Jersey. So it's the Eagles and the Giants. And last week, this Panthers and Giants game, holy crap. So if you watch back closely in the final minutes of the game, actually even the final seconds of the game, you can see Cam Newton clearly spike the ball on 4th and 1 when the Giants had the lead. It should have been Giants ball, game over. But instead, they line up for, a 63-yard field goal, and they actually make it. It's not even the fact that they just lined up for it and attempted. They actually made the thing and won the game. And that is one thing that I don't think a lot of people, for one, expected the Giants to score 30 points in the game against the Panthers. But I don't think a lot of people expected the Panthers to score 30 points against the Giants. It was a very close game. I think this was the first time in almost 3 years that the Giants scored 30 points. Anyway, with this game, I am going to be taking the Eagles. Carson Wentz is finally looking good. Eli Manning is still looking absolutely terrible. And now there's some beef with Odell Beckham Jr., basically saying that he wants out of New York. He's going to leave. Eli can't really throw the ball anymore. He didn't say that, but, it's obvious that he can't throw the ball that well anymore. You don't see him throwing a 70-yard bomb anymore. Anyway, I'm taking the Eagles in this game. Next up, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers rolling into Atlanta to face off the Falcons Sunday at 1 o'clock. The Falcons, actually, really, both of these teams suck. I know the Bucs actually started out pretty good. I think, 2-0, 3-0. Fitzpatrick was doing very well. Obviously, he's awful once again. He looks like his former New York Jets self. Jameis Winston has been getting the starts, rightfully so. And Jameis Winston hasn't been looking all that good either. However, with that being said, they are going up against arguably the worst defense in the NFL in the Atlanta Falcons. And some people will say, oh, it's because of injury, it's because of blah, 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 blah. No, they are the worst defense in the NFL. With that being said, however, defense sometimes wins games, offense sometimes wins games, and special teams sometimes wins games. Therefore, I am going to be taking the Atlanta Falcons in this game by a very slim margin. I'm going to say 7 points or less. Next up, we have the LA Chargers going up against the Cleveland Browns, 1 o'clock on Sunday, obviously. And, okay. The Chargers are not a bad team. They're not. Their problem is they don't have a lot of experience. And with the lack of experience, it's harder to necessarily gel together. And I know that's kind of an oxymoron there. But if you don't have a lot of experience, if you can't gel together, you can't connect on those you're not gonna have a good route efficiency. You're not gonna have a good route running. You're not gonna have anything to really show for. I mean, yeah, you have your slot receivers, but if you need to run a play deep and then change it like last second, like they're not gonna catch it right away. The Browns, I'm not gonna say that they should be undefeated, and I'm not gonna say that they should be 4-1 coming into this week because they shouldn't. However, I will say that they should be maybe 3-2 coming into this week. In my opinion, Baker Mayfield should have gotten the start after week 1. Like, he should have started week 2. Tyrod Taylor isn't bad by any means. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just saying that Baker Mayfield should have gotten his chance to shine a lot sooner than he did. Josh Gordon is now obviously gone. He's in New England, and he actually caught Tom Brady's, 500th career touchdown. So that was pretty cool. But anyway, still have Jarvis Landry, still have a few other decent guys. So with that being said, and the defense is pretty good, they're in the dog pound once again. I am going to be taking the Cleveland Browns in this game, and I'm going to say that they win it by at least 5 points. Next up, we have the Indianapolis Colts. We have the New York Jets playing in New Jersey as well. So that stadium crew is going to have fun switching the stadium from Giants to Jets in about 48 hours. So a little more than that, 72 hours maybe. Anyway, Andrew Luck is not good. I'm not saying Sam Darnold is. Andrew Luck is not good. The Colts are not good. Their defense is very lackluster. Offense is at best. The Jets, on the other hand, like I said, they're not good. I shouldn't say that they're not good. They're okay. Sam Darnold is starting to, get his feet wet. I know he's been the starter since week 1. He's really the only true quarterback on the goddamn roster. With that being said, the offense for the Jets is, decent. I'm not going to say that they're fantastic, because clearly they're not. If they were fantastic, then they'd be in the running with the Jets or with the Patriots and the Dolphins. But with that being said, I am going to actually take the New York Jets in this game simply because of the fact, A, they're at home, and B, I just do not think that the Colts are anything to really be scared of. So, next up, we have the Seahawks. We have the Raiders. This game is going to be another one that I really look forward to on several different levels. Neither team has shown much this season by any means necessary. You have a $100 million coach in John Gruden, and he's not doing much for you. You guys, they're potentially going to be 1-5 if they lose this, or they're going to be 1-5 if they lose this week, which we'll see what happens there with my pick in a minute. Russell Wilson is not a bad quarterback. I see so many people on my social media like bashing Russell Wilson like crazy. He's not a bad quarterback. It's not that he doesn't have the offense or the defense to win the game. It's the fact that, you don't have your stellar cornerback anymore in Richard Sherman. You have been doing okay without Marshawn Lynch on the running game. Not fantastic, but you guys have been doing okay. This is actually really tough. This is probably the one game where I'm actually not sure in what direction to pick. If I had to pick, I would go with the Seattle Seahawks, and that's what I'm going to do. I don't see the Raiders getting the best of this Seattle defense. I do not see the Raiders being able to score more than 16 points. And I do not see, granted, I don't see the Seahawks scoring much more than 20. So it's going to be a close game. It's going to be a lower scoring game, but it's not going to be like a 30-35 but it's not going to be like a 9-6 either. So Seahawks over Raiders. Next up, we have the Panthers. We have the Redskins. I really hate both of these teams. I'm not even gonna lie. This is gonna be another close game. Sorry, I'm getting over being sick. You guys can probably hear my voice, and my brain is just not processing right now. But with the Panthers and the Redskins, they're in Washington. The Panthers are okay. Cam Newton is he's a good quarterback. I'm not saying he's not. Alex Smith is another good quarterback. So the quarterback matchup is pretty even, in my opinion. Cam does have a little bit more of like a rookie type offense. They're not all rookies, obviously, but one of your star receivers is a rookie. Like, what does that tell you? He does have Luke Kuechly as well, obviously, another star player on the Panthers. The Redskins, Alex Smith, Adrian Peterson, Josh Norman. I'm pretty sure Josh Norman is still on the Redskins. I just realized I'm kind of rambling off players here. Anyway, I am going to take the Panthers by a very slim margin. And I'm not trying to be biased here. I'm really not. But I could really see this game going either way. So I'm kind of picking the lesser of two evils here. So I am going to be going with the Carolina Panthers. Next up, we have the Buffalo Bills going off against the Houston Texans. In Houston, Houston came off a win last week in overtime on Sunday Night Football against the Dallas Cowboys. I feel like that was something that they needed to boost their morale. I feel like the Texans were really starting to go into a slump, more or less, with the fact that they just kept losing and losing and losing. I feel like that win last week really helped boost their spirits. And the Buffalo Bills have been absolutely all over the place this year. They go out and destroy the Minnesota Vikings, and then the next week they get more or less destroyed by the Packers, and then they've been so back and forth this season. Like, I'm pretty sure they're like win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. I do have the Texans in this game simply because of the fact that I feel overall the Texans are the better team. Better quarterback, better defense, better receivers. I honestly feel like the Texans could go out and score 35+ on this Buffalo Bills defense. So, Texans over Bills. Next up, we have the Arizona Cardinals, who got a win last week over the San Francisco 49ers, and the Minnesota Vikings, led by Kirk Cousins. The Minnesota Vikings are one of the better teams in the NFL this season. They're not the best, clearly, because there are still two teams undefeated, and even then there are still teams with a better record than them. However, the Cardinals are absolutely one of the worst teams in the NFL, if not the worst. It should be an easy win, other than the fact that it's just simply in front of the home crowd. I am going to be giving this game to the Minnesota Vikings just because I do not see the Cardinals scoring more than maybe 10 points on the Vikings. And if they do, I will be surprised. Next up, we have one of the biggest rivalries in NFL, Pittsburgh Steelers, Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals are actually a really good team this year. I don't think many people, including myself, expected the Bengals to be this good coming into the season. The Steelers, on the other hand, are one of the worst teams in the NFL. Definitely one of the worst. Probably, I'd say the bottom three of the AFC. I think that's actually a 2 or 3-way tie that the Steelers are a part of in their division. So, Andy Dalton and Big Ben, don't get me wrong, the Steelers are definitely starting to find themselves. However, they played against a really not so good team. They did this against the Falcons, who, like I said earlier, have the worst, if not the worst, then one of the worst defenses in the NFL. Yeah, they put up 41 points, but they still allowed 17, which on average they only allow around 10 a game unless they're facing someone like the Patriots. With that being said, I am going to take the Bengals in this game, and I would not be surprised if it was something like a 27-16. Next up, we have the Chicago Bears and the Miami Dolphins in Miami. The Bears coming off an off week last week, or bye week, whatever you want to call it. And the Bears are going to be well rested. Ever since they got Khalil Mack, they have been unstoppable. Obviously, they lost some games, but their defense, Khalil Mack has taken down every quarterback he has faced thus far. And with that being said, I would not be surprised to see Tannehill go down at least twice by Khalil Mack this week. Tannehill is not going to be able to get much done against this Bears defense. I am going to be taking the Bears. Mitchell Trubisky should be able to handle this Dolphins defense relatively easily. Next up, we have the Los Angeles Rams and the Denver Broncos. Mile high once again. Broncos are okay. They actually put up a fight against the Chiefs last week, which shocked the living hell out of me. I'm sorry, that was 2 weeks ago that they put the fight up against the Chiefs. My bad. They did absolute shit against the Jets last week. Got my weeks mixed up. So did hell against the Jets last week. They got destroyed 34-16. Wow. Bring in your train of thought, Zach. Okay. The Rams only beat the Seahawks by 2 with a score of 33-31. I mean, if you're allowing the Jets to score 41 points or whatever it was on you, 36, then I see no reason that you can't allow the Rams to score even more. I mean, 34 points you're allowing a really shitty team to score. The Rams are a great team. I see no reason that the Rams can't go in there and just beat the living hell out of the Broncos. So, needless to say, I'm taking the Rams, even though they could be potentially without Cooper Kupp and Brandon Cooks, who are potentially both out due to concussions. I still think that the Rams will come away with a rather lopsided victory. Next up, we have the Baltimore Ravens at the Tennessee Titans. Both teams have shown potential to be very good, and both teams have shown potential to be very bad. I don't have much on this game. I am also seeing that this video is pushing 20 minutes, and I think that's officially my longest prediction video this season, which is also amazing considering my voice is barely holding up. I am going to take the Baltimore Ravens in this game, regardless of the fact that the Tennessee Titans are at home. I feel like overall they have the better team. However, this is going to be, in my opinion, a very close game. Baltimore Ravens over Tennessee Titans. Next up, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars rolling in to face off against the Dallas Cowboys in Jerry World. The Cowboys, I think you all know by now, are my least favorite team in the NFL. That's not what I'm putting my pick up against, because I promised I would be very unbiased with my picks. I promised the people who I talked to about my picks, and I promised myself I would be very unbiased about my picks. With that being said, Blake Bortles has actually been starting to show signs of being a good quarterback. His offense has been pretty good. Defense has been okay. Overall, they're all thinking, woe is me, with the fact that they don't necessarily have Leonard Fournette. With that being said, the Cowboys do not have that quote-unquote number one receiver, and they've said straight out they are not bringing Dez Bryant back. So that shows that they don't want Bryant in any way. It seems like really none of the teams want Bryant in any way. I've been saying, why doesn't Bryant just go team up with Manziel for a year in the CFL and see how that goes? But with that being said, I am going to be taking the Jacksonville Jaguars in this game by about 7 to 10 points. Next up, oh my goodness. Okay, I was dreading getting to this game, but here we are. We have the Kansas City Chiefs and the New England Patriots, and this kills my fantasy team because I have both Pat Mahomes and Tom Brady. They're in Gillette Stadium. They're in Foxborough. And, oh boy. Both offenses overall are really good. Both defenses are okay. The Chiefs definitely have a little bit better of a defense than the Patriots, but I feel like in return the Patriots have a little bit better of a defense or offense than the Chiefs. This game is really tough. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even trying to like drag this video out because I wanted this video over like 10 minutes ago. You know what? I'm gonna have to pick the Kansas City Patriots. I mean, the New England Chiefs. I'm picking the Patriots. However, it's going to be by a very slim margin. I'm not saying it's going to be by, 2 points or anything. But I will say that regardless of the fact that the Chiefs and Pat Mahomes are very good, and they are very good, I'm just going to say that New England can actually upset the Chiefs and end their undefeated streak at home. I'm going to say it's going to be a high-scoring game. Probably both teams in the 30s. We'll say 37-33. So Brady and the Patriots do defeat Pat Mahomes, or Kermit Mahomes, and the Kansas City Chiefs. And last but not least, I don't know why this is a Monday night game. Probably because it was before Garoppolo got injured. But we have the San Francisco 49ers coming in and facing off against the Green Bay Packers. There's really not much to say on this game. The 49ers are awful. The Packers are finally finding their mark. And the Packers are going to win and more than likely obliterate the San Francisco 49ers. So, those are my picks for the week. Like I said, my brain is not processing. I have to do a speech in like 2 hours. So I have the Eagles, the Falcons, the Panthers, the Seahawks, the Jets, the Vikings, the Bengals, the Browns, Texans, Bears, Rams, Ravens, Jaguars, Patriots, and Packers. So I definitely think that I can pull ahead in this competition at least a little. I only have, I think, a 5-6 game margin right now. So I'm hoping that I'll do relatively well. Go check out the prediction videos for your boy Hobo, Z Diamond, and Johnny Talk Sports on their channels. I will put their channels in the description below. And I'm looking at the picks that Hobo put up because those are the only ones that I've seen so far. And him and I only have like 3 or 4 differences. So be sure to go check that out and see what those differences are. And with that being said, I will be talking to you guys later. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, and hit that notification bell. It is the #1 way to help a channel. I'll be talking to you guys later. Peace. I'm out.